Hi, welcome to the Innovation Handyman. I'm John Handy, and this week I'm really excited to introduce you to a new project that I've got going. I'm going to take a 1959 Jeep FC150 and I'm going to put it on the chassis and running gear of a modern Jeep. It'll be a 2005 Jeep Wrangler X with a L6 4-liter engine and a 6-speed manual transmission. In the end, I'm going to have that classic Jeep body with the big bubble windshields and sitting in front of the wheels on a modern Jeep running gear as a 4-wheel drive off-road vehicle. So if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel. That way we'll notify you when new episodes drop. We're going to probably drop a new episode every 1 to 2 weeks. If you like it, hit like. We'll keep this thing going, and you'll see us all the way to the end on this project.
Yes, Forward Control, a completely new style of 4-wheel drive. Functional design eliminates every pound of unnecessary dead weight. This is Forward Control, the new Jeep Forward Control truck, a new concept in a 4-wheel drive vehicle, and the latest addition to the already famous Jeep family.
So these Jeeps, they made them for about 10 years. They're Forward Control. The FC150 is the shorter wheelbase, and it was made to be on a CJ chassis from the beginning. So they just used a CJ chassis. They put a 6-foot bed on it, 5-foot cab, and they created a truck from what they already had. This project is actually not the first time this has been done. Mark Allen, who's the head of design for Jeep, did this in about 2016. They put this same kind of body on a Jeep TJ chassis. But the reason I'm doing this video is because I could find no video on how they did it or exactly what they had to go through to make that work. So I'm going to make that for you today. One of the things you're going to notice is I've already got my hood ornament. This was a gift to me from my good friend Jim Culver, and it's a buffalo, which is my spirit animal, and also kind of looks like what this Jeep FC looks like, a big old head on this vehicle. And he commissioned his brother-in-law, who's Stefan Bazur, from Berlin, Germany, to sculpt this for me and cast it out of aluminum. So it's sand cast out of aluminum and hand polished, and it's a beautiful buffalo hood ornament. So starting the project off with the final thing, usually, which is the hood ornament, that's going to be the first thing. I've already taken the Jeep off its frame and pretty well stripped it all the way down. This is the bed, which is actually shown here backwards, but both of these are on their own trolley, so I can get them in and out of my garage easily and move them around to do it. But you know, this there's the two fenders. This Jeep was in pretty good shape. It's got surface rust, but no rust through except in the floorboards a little bit. And man, it's really made out of good quality steel, and they were often used as farm trucks. This is my donor vehicle, which is a perfectly good dent-free 2006 Jeep Wrangler. So it's a TJ chassis, and that's the one that they used, the Jeep company used when they did their show vehicle. It's a great choice. It's got the 4-liter L6 engine. It's got coil independent suspension on all 4 wheels. It's got disc brakes, power brakes. It's got air conditioning. It's got power steering. It's basically, by using this chassis, yes, I am taking a perfectly good Jeep apart, but they made plenty of these, no big deal. This year also is a 2005, and it has a 6-speed manual transmission, which is I believe the only year that they put that in with the L6 engine. And the L6 4-liter engine, of course, is Jeep's legendary engine, really bulletproof, very tough. We're going to take this entire body off in one piece, left with the frame, and then we're going to be able to, with some slight modifications, be able to put the Jeep FC150 body right on top of this. I'll walk through the whole process. So moving around the vehicle, I'll show you what you have to disconnect. There's these three connectors. Put them back in. They're color-coded orange, black, and white. They have to be disconnected. You pull this lever down and pop them out. You got to disconnect this air box. Disconnect the battery cables that are right in here, and also the cables that go from the fuse box. Disconnect over here one hose that goes into the air conditioner condenser or filter. Disconnect the two heater hoses. Disconnect the motor wire connector. Disconnect the radiator hoses. Disconnect the fan shroud and pull it forward. Pull the radiator out. There's 6 bolts for the radiator. Then just tied the tubing for the air conditioning up here. Tie it up here. There's another connection for the air conditioning down here to the left, facing the car, the left of the radiator. Let's see what else. Disconnect the accelerator cable. I disconnected it at the engine. Fairly self-explanatory. There's vacuum hoses. There's 2 vacuum hoses. One that goes to the brake booster, and another one that goes in right in here to the cylinder head. Disconnect that. Take off anything that's attached to the fenders that work with the engine. Disconnect this right here. Don't know what it is, but disconnect it anyway. And then there's 3 brake hoses. Take those off. That's basically it for the engine compartment. When you move inside the vehicle, you're going to have to open it up. For the shifter, there's 4 bolts. 4 bolts here that have to be taken off for the four-wheel drive engagement lever. Get some light on it, but you're going to have to take the brake lever apart here and pull out the main brake cable. You're going to have to also take off the shifter knob, and you got to pry the shift indicator cap off the top. It takes a bit to pry it off, and then there's a 15mm nut on there, and you unscrew the actual shifter itself. So that's what you got to do on the outside of the car. To take the hydraulic line off the clutch master cylinder, I put a socket between it and the brake booster, and then there's a little pin right here that you drive out and then pull that down. That's the way I could figure out to do it. This whole housing is made out of plastic, so if you pound on it, it's going to break. But support it behind with a socket, drive it out. To take the body off the body mounts, there is 11 of these. They are fairly obvious to see. There's 3 on each side. There's 2 at the very back. There's 2 right in front of the gas tank, and there's 1 at the front of the car. Underneath the car, you can see that's where we disconnected the four-wheel drive shift lever. Way back there, I don't know if you can see it, but way back at the back there, you have to disconnect the other rod, and that's pried off with a screwdriver. And then, remember we said the clutch hose, that has to be disconnected here. And that's it. She's pretty much ready to take off the body. Last thing to remember is if you have trailer brakes or a trailer hookup setup, you got to disconnect that, and that one goes with the body, but it'll hang down there and pull through. Unbolt the emergency brake bracket. There's two bolts there that hold it on, and you pull the emergency brake cable that's been disconnected from the handle. You pull it through that slot right there. There's three screws that hold the rubber shield in place. I positioned the lift on the body at the front and right in front of the back wheels. Yeah, then I'm going to lift the body slowly and check to see that everything is disconnected. Take a quick look. Looks like everything is going good. There was one thing that I didn't expect, and that is there's an electrical connection somehow to the fuel tank. I didn't think they were supposed to be there. So I'm going to fix that, disconnect that, and continue. Okay, I took care of whatever that fuel connection was. It wasn't the electrical. I'll show it to you in a minute. I think it was something to do with the pollution control. It looked like a vapor return line or something. Ready to continue? Just make sure these electrical cables can pull through okay. One more ground cable right there that has to be disconnected that I didn't see. So there it is. We've got a rolling frame here, which I'm going to put on a special, I'm going to put the body on a special stand, and we'll be ready to go. Wasn't that hard, really. I would say it probably took about a total, honestly, about 3 hours to disconnect everything. And as you can see, there's a couple things that I didn't allot for, but if you lift it up slowly and then disconnect as you go, anything you forgot, I think everything is okay.